From October 21 to March 2022, Dubai's World Expo has been taking place on 1,083 acres of reclaimed desert. Even though it opened about a year later, all because of the pandemic that struck the world, Expo 2020 Dubai still managed to bring together more than 23 million visitors. In addition to that, the event also accommodated 192 participating countries, as well as hosted performances from the likes of Alicia Keys and Jason Derulo. Not only that, tourists saw visits from some of the world's leaders such as the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and the French President Emmanuel Macron. Hello, and welcome back to our channel Future Planet. In this video, we'll take a look into how Dubai's Expo 2020 turned into a futuristic District 2020. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos just like this one. Eventually, as with all events, this one came to an end. It ended on March 31st with a display from the United Arab Emirates Air Force aerobatics team, along with performances by Christina Aguilera, Norah Jones, and Yo-Yo Ma. After the party, guests had no choice but to make their final departure. But there is one question. What will become of the $7 billion white elephant, which is the space where the entire event was held? According to the organizers of Expo 2020, they had planned for the legacy of the space from the beginning. They had already planned that about 80% of the entire infrastructure would be scheduled for transition into District 2020, which is a mixed-use urban community. This community has been described by many as a human-centric smart city. According to Ahmed Al-Khatib, the Chief Development and Delivery Officer for the Expo 2020 site, it is going to be a full and comprehensive city. The entire space will be very diverse, including homes, offices, leisure facilities, exercise grounds, a mall, and even a metro station. District 2020 will also become the largest city in the world that will have full coverage of 5G-enabled network. He explains saying, "Every corner you walk to, there is a different attraction. The parks, the landscaping, the trees, the entire thing is designed for human needs. And given the proposed designs, the fact that they are designed around human needs is very true. The main idea is for all the amenities to be accessible to residents on foot in about 15 minutes or less." Dinah Story, who is the Director of Sustainability Operations at Expo 2020, even said that this idea is like an old traditional city. With that idea in mind, the developers are going to fit about 10 kilometers of cycle tracks, 5 kilometers of jogging paths, and a 4-kilometer autonomous vehicle transit route. The site is also going to retain about 1/3 the structures and buildings that were there during the Expo. This includes the dominating wings of the UAE Pavilion, which were designed by Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, and even the huge glass and steel facade of the Al Wasal Plaza. Generally speaking, there is going to be about 260,000 square meters of repurposed Expo buildings, which all serve to provide homes and offices for about 145,000 people. As much as the developers of this human-centric smart city are building the entire city on a desert site, the organizers have claimed that District 2020 will also include about 45,000 square meters of green space and parks, which will all be filled with local native species. This includes drought-tolerant gaff trees and jasmine bushes. In addition to that, the buildings are all designed with the environment in mind, as each building will be fitted with solar panels. To have the perfect showpiece of the Expo's eco-friendly vision, you can take a look at the Sustainability Pavilion, which was designed by British architecture firm Grimshaw. The pavilion has been partially submerged, keeping it cool. But the most striking feature is that it has a steel canopy about 440 feet wide, which holds over 1,000 solar panels. With this many solar panels, the building can generate up to 4 gigawatt-hours of electricity in a year. This is enough energy to power an average of 370 homes. And it all comes from the solar panels on the canopy and on the 18 energy trees that surround the pavilion. As it transitions into District 2020, Terra will become the Children and Science Center, which is basically a museum and educational facility that will serve to demonstrate the smart and sustainable capabilities that are on the site. According to Story, in addition to all that, District 2020 is said to be the first well-certified community in the region. For those of you who have no idea what this means, it is a standard that evaluates the impact of buildings on health and wellness. story says that for the city to qualify, there has to be vegan spaces, organic spaces for eating. And it really focuses on the well-being of the people that live here, the animals, and the biodiversity of the space itself. According to Tim van Vrijdeldenhoven, an independent expert in urban planning and author of Reaching Beyond the Gold: The Impact of Global Events on Urban Development, he stated that given all the previous World Expos that have been there over the years, most of the sites are always left unused, becoming white elephants. In most of these cases, the space has not been needed by the city, which means that it's not been incorporated into wider urban development. However, according to him, Dubai is different. This is mainly because it's a rapidly growing city, and it makes sure that the site is integrated into an urban master plan. He also added that it is also crucial that Dubai proceeds with the development of District 2020 as fast as it can before people start losing interest in the entire project. After the event, with every expo, the momentum is gone. You need to immediately have a plan in place for transformation. However, Vrijdeldenhoven has questioned the feasibility of making a city that is as pedestrian-friendly as the District 2020 claims to be. The issue came up given the fact that the location has temperatures that sometimes go higher than 50 degrees Celsius. He has also added that some of the sites that seem to be disconnected from the rest of the city are at the risk of becoming end-of-the-line locations. He explains by saying, "Unless it's integrated into a network with strategically good location, it's difficult for people to make the decision to start living there." However, that does not mean that he is not generally impressed with the plans. Regarding this, he said, "I think this is finally a right answer to how to deal with the legacy of expos and not turning into white elephants." It is estimated that people as well as businesses will be able to move on to the expo site as early as October of this year. There are already companies such as Siemens and Terminus that have already secured their spots in the city, and they are just waiting to be told that they can now move in. In addition to all of that, the UK and the UAE are said to be planning a partnership to open a hydrogen innovation center on site, all to speed up decarbonization in aviation and shipping as well. On the other hand, Italy's impressive pavilion will be turned into a place where artifacts and works of art that were found in war zones will be kept safe. Al-Khatib said, "It's a lot of education, a lot of aviation, a lot of entertainment as well. In 10 years, I imagine it'll be a very busy site." One can only imagine how the city will be once it's fully completed, because by the sounds of it, there will be barely any vehicles. It sounds as though their main aim is to acquire the cleanest energy that they can ever acquire within the region. But if these developments were to actually go through, then this would be one of the most technologically advanced cities in the world. What do you think of the new District 2020? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Future Planet and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.